girls, would you please be quiet now and listen? It's a little surprise for you today, and you're going to see a little play, and the girls here are going to tell what this play is about and what you're going to see. But I ask you to be quiet, to pay attention, and sit straight in your chair. Thank you. Because it's like a theater. If you go to a theater, you're going to see a play. You're supposed to be quiet, to pay attention. That's why I ask you also now to be quiet and to pay attention. Sibyl, could you please sit straight? Thank you. So enjoy the play and you're welcome.
This is Susan, Lena, Marlena, and we already know Sharon Eichler. We are going to perform a play about the Canterbury Tales. It's something we had to prepare for our education. So that's what we're going to do today. We already performed it last Tuesday on our own school, and we've been performing the entire morning here. So we hope you will enjoy the play. And we also have these notes. We're going to pass them out, and we would like you to write a tip and a top for us, so that we can learn from it for the next time we have to.
So a tip, what could be better, and a top, what went well.
Yeah, I do have one question. Does anyone know what the Canterbury Tales are? Has anyone ever heard of it? No?
Nobody. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
and we can just start on it, and at the end
we
know
hope
exactly
you'll,
what
yeah,
it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, as you can see, a lot of people today have an iPhone, have an iPad or a tablet, and laptops and whatever. And we can't really live without them anymore. But there was a time when people didn't have any of that, when people didn't have phones and when people didn't have iPads. You know, today we can travel by car, we can go by plane, we have bikes, but there were times when people didn't have bikes or planes, didn't have any electricity at all. I wonder what life was like in that time. Yeah. I wonder. Oh, but you know what? We have a book right here. It's called The Canterbury Tales, and it can tell us a lot about what people did and how they lived in the 14th century. So I would like to find out what kind of people lived in that time, what they did. And one way to find out is by reading the book. So what I'd like to find out is what the Canterbury Tales tell us about life in the 14th century.
Hello everybody. My name is Geoffrey Chaucer. We're in the woods today, and I'm going to tell you a story about King Arthur. King Arthur had a king, a knight. A knight who, when riding home from hunting, he found a maid walking alone. And he demanded a kiss from her.
I love her. She's beautiful. No, get away from me. Just leave me alone. No.
But she refused, and he forced himself to her anyway.
I still like you, even if you don't like me. I'm in love.
So soon, King Arthur heard what happened, and he wanted to punish the knight with death. Queen Guinevere begged her husband to spare Knight Lancelot.
No! Don't do it! Spare him!
Instead of punishment by death, the knight now had 1 year time to find the answer to this question.
You have to find the answer to the question, what do women want most in life? Yeah.
So the knight went on a journey to find the answer. But all women gave him different answers.
Oh?
The knight was very sad that he couldn't find the right answer. And eventually, he gave up. He rode his horse on his way back home. On his way back home, suddenly, he saw an ugly old lady coming out of the woods. And he asked her the following question.
Women, what do women want most in life?
Well, I've got the answer, and I can assure you it is the right one. But you must promise me that you will do the very next thing I ask of you.
Okay, yeah, I'd do anything. Of course.
Okay.
your time to find the answer. Did you find the right answer?
Yes, my queen, my king, I found the answer. The answer is that women want to have control over their man.
That is correct. You may live.
Now, dear Knight Lancelot, fulfill your promise. Take me as your wife.
No!
The knight and the old lady married the next day. But the old lady noticed how unhappy her husband was.
I'm sorry.
What is your problem?
Well, you're ugly. You smell. Ooh. And you're lowborn. I do not want to be with you. Never in my life.
Me being ugly and smelly and lowborn, that doesn't matter. I mean, what would you rather have? An ugly old lady that is entirely faithful to you, or a young, beautiful girl that has, I don't know how many boyfriends aside from you?
Yeah, of course, you choose what's best for us, I guess.
Okay, well then I think we can both agree that I have control over you. Now, give me a kiss.
What?
Right there, give me a kiss. Go ahead.
Lancelot gives his wife a kiss on the cheek, and then she transforms into a beautiful young woman. Lancelot is in love. He learned his lesson, and they lived happily ever after.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get happy.
What the hell, man? What are you doing in the middle of this hallway?
I'm sorry, I'm so into this book.
You know, looks kind of boring. I mean, it can't be anything like Spider-Man, can it?
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Right. I'd rather read books about real heroes, or at least a book written by a real hero, like Chaucer.
Chaucer? Well,
Yes.
I've never heard of the guy. Who is he?
Chaucer is the guy who wrote this book, the Canterbury Tales. And it's about pilgrims going all the way to the Canterbury Cathedral.
You know, that still sounds boring.
No, it's not.
Well, it sounds like it. Does he have any superpowers or any weapons like any real superhero?
Yeah, he does. He's got a pen.
A
You know,
pen.
Yes, a
Wow.
pen. Without, he saved the English language.
How did he save the English language?
Well, without Chaucer, you would be speaking French right now.
French?
Yes.
Oh, I really hate the French language.
Me
I
too.
got a really bad grade on a test.
I'm
and I-
very bad at it too.
But why would we be speaking French?
Well, a long time ago, the French people were boss in England, like they controlled England, and everybody had to speak French. So English was barely ever spoken. And then,
So strange.
yeah, exactly. And then Chaucer came, and he started to write this book in English secretly. And well, that's how he saved the English language, thanks to this book.
I didn't know that. That's so cool. He's a cool dude after all.
Yes, yeah.
Did he ever win any rewards?
Well, he won this free meal in the hostel on his way back.
That's not really a reward, is it?
No.
No, he's like a real superhero, never getting anything for what they do.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, could I borrow that book sometime?
Only if you read it to me.
Deal.
Okay, good. Come on.
In a very beautiful library, and I'm meeting here an expert in English literature. Hi, this is Bente, and she's an expert in English literature. So, could you tell me something more about the medieval times and why Geoffrey Chaucer was so important when he was alive?
Well, every bit of literature that was written between 1100 and 1500 was called late medieval literature. And Geoffrey Chaucer was alive during the 1300s, so he was right in the middle of it all. And he got the title, the father of English literature.
Oh, that's an interesting title. Why did he get that?
Well, there's a bit of a story behind this, because in the 11th century, the French came to England. They conquered England, led by William the Conqueror,
And more French people came to live in England as well. So eventually French became an official language, especially in courts, and rich and noble people spoke French. And the poorer people, they still spoke a bit of English, but mostly it was French.
Wait, I'm confused. So, the English people spoke French.
They did, yeah. But like I said, English language still existed. It wasn't just spoken as much anymore.
Okay.
And by the time the French people left the country, English became a language again, which was often used. And then the French even gave us a lot of extra words as well. So the English language had twice as many words by the time the French people left. And then Chaucer wrote this book. And he wrote it in English because he wanted everybody to be able to read it, even the poorer people that weren't so good with French. So he wrote it in English, and he made the English language cool again.
Oh. So you talked about the French invading England, and then some French words entered the English language. Can we still see some of those words? Can we still talk?
We can. I have an example right here. This is a list of food that we eat a lot. This is beef. It's made from cow meat, and it comes from the French word boeuf. Beef and boeuf, it looks a lot like each other.
Yeah, it does.
And then you have pork, which is pig meat dish. Comes from the French word pork, but then written with the C. And the same is with mutton, which is a dish with sheep meat in it. Comes from the French word mouton. And this is only food that we're talking about. So can you imagine how many other words we have?
Wow. These are so many French words. I didn't know that, to be honest. Thanks for having you here.
No problem.
There once was a time when travelers were walking through the woods. It was the beginning of spring, and the road was long, and they were very, very tired. But to pass the time, they had some fun by telling each other some stories. The miller's tale, and the knight's tale, and many, many more. And 24 of them were told, and Chaucer put them in a book. In London town he chose to write down every story. When April came with its sweet showers, they all longed for a journey. On their way the pilgrims went to beautiful Canterbury. And 24 of them were told, and Chaucer put them in a book. In London town he chose to write down every story. When April came with its sweet showers, they all longed for a journey. On their way the pilgrims went to beautiful Canterbury.
Welcome everybody to the Best Book Show. We have a very special guest. He's from the past and he's the author of this book, The Canterbury Tales. So give a warm applause to Geoffrey Chaucer.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Chaucer.
My pleasure. Have a seat.
So, you're often called to be the father of the English literature. How do you feel about that?
Well, I know I'm the father of 4 children, but none of them is called literature.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we have here this book of yours, The Canterbury Tales. Where did you get the inspiration from to write the Canterbury
Can I have a look?
Tales?
Yeah, of course. Well, this definitely does not look like the book I wrote. My book was just a bunch of poems, and this is
Oh,
not like that.
but as you can see, it has been translated to make it accessible for everyone.
Oh,
to make it easier to read.
Very good, my opinion. Really good.
Indeed it is, but where did you get the inspiration from?
Well, back in my days, I used to live in London, above Aldgate, and that's where I saw a lot of people passing by from different ranks, and they lived all different lives, and that's what inspired me to write a story about them.
Could you tell us some more about those people? What were they like?
Of course, as you saw earlier in The Wife of Bath, people, well, we used to have kings and queens, and they ruled the country, and we used to have knights, they used to fight. We used to have our maids and our servants who would serve us the food, and we used to have peasants, and they better make sure we would get food and wine, obviously. And back in my days, we used to ride horses. I don't know, you people have nowadays like something on 4 wheels, like a car?
Oh, you mean a car? Like, I have a Volkswagen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with a steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
Back in my
That's a
days,
car.
we used to ride horses, and I had my favorite horse, my good old horsey. God bless her soul.
Horsey, that's a nice name for a horse.
Horse.
So that's your most famous work, I would say, but what is so important about it?
Well, I think people reading the Canterbury Tales, they can learn a lot about how people back in my days used to live, and I think that's important to know. You can learn a lot about the history of the Middle Ages.
Thank you so much for coming today. Do you have anything to say to our audience before we round up?
Yes, I would like to tell you that it's important to keep reading literature, because you can learn a lot about the history of England and how people used to live back in the Middle Ages, and I think my book is the best example of it. But remember, literature is important, but your life is important as well, so make something good out of it. And God bless you.
Thanks. That's a very good advice.
My pleasure.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for your attention. I hope you liked it and you learned something about the Canterbury Tales. So thank you guys.
Don't forget to write the tips as well.
Yeah, and don't forget to give us some tips and some talks if you like. And you can try it in English, but if you don't know a word, you can write it down in Dutch. Yeah. Yeah? It would be very helpful.